So, what are you doing now?
I'm making dessert.
Oh,
Well, I made that strawberry rhubarb pie last week.
that was
remember?
great.
So now, I had leftover crust. I'm getting my pasta board, which is also my baking board.
Yep.
Oh my God, I'm so achy. And that's my beautiful pasta board. Steve Manning made me that.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Stevie. What am I doing? Oh, dough. So this is some leftover dough that I have from when did we do that?
Last Sunday.
Oh, okay, so it's a week old, but it's been in the fridge and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, you do this.
Last week was when you were entertaining an entire Zoom meeting, making the pie crust in the
I
background.
wasn't entertaining them, I was listening while I was baking it. So, we're making so last week, during our meeting, I made the pie crust, and then I made a strawberry rhubarb pie. And if I must say so myself, and I must, because there's nobody else here except for you.
Which I thought it was fantastic.
All right, so it was fantastic. I thought it was really good
Yes,
too.
not too sweet.
So this is a really nice buttery pie recipe. Did I ever do this? We didn't do this, right? We never did this.
Don't think
Well,
you
I'm not
did.
doing it now either. I'm just making it. This is leftover pie crust that I had. Now here's the problem. We don't have any strawberries. We have rhubarb, and now we're growing rhubarb, thanks to Pat Borum, who...
And we're growing strawberries, but they're not.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have hundreds, if not thousands, of strawberries. At least hundreds, if not thousands.
Well, that will keep me entertained for a couple of days.
Yeah. So this is about ready. You don't want your pie crust too thin, especially the bottom one. I like thick crust, bottom and top. But so there's the pie crust. That's the bottom, and you want to make sure it's form-fitting. Form-fitting, just like me, form-fitting. Okay, so that ain't bad. Leave that there. Cut! Okay, so this is some rhubarb that we bought at Hemingway's. Fabulous place that Pat took me to. And she was in her car, I was in my car. We were both masked. Wear your masks, wash your hands. So this is some rhubarb, and you just cube it up. And you don't have to pre-cook it. You don't have to pre-cook it at all. So I like my pies nice and full.
Okay.
So I was looking up recipes. The reason why I don't like recipes is I don't usually like the ingredients they put in there. So this pie called for 1.5 cups of sugar. I don't like even putting a cup in. So we're going to put a little more than 1/2. Okay? As a matter of fact, not even that. That's enough sugar as far as I'm concerned. So that was, it was probably a good 1/2 cup of sugar. That's all I like to put. So we didn't have any strawberries. Did I already tell you that? I probably already told you that. But we bought frozen cherries when we went to Market Basket this week. So we're making a cherry. Oh, geez, that's a lot. A cherry,
Cherry-rhubarb.
yeah, why not, right? But they're frozen. I don't know how this is going to turn out, so this is a crapshoot. Like everything else I do. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. All right, but what we do need to put in here is flour, because there's a lot of juice from
The cherries. When
the
they
cherries
melt.
and the rhubarb. So we put a scoop of flour in. Probably 2 or 3 tablespoons, I'd say. All right, so we only have our long spoons. So I am mixing this up, and I'm just gonna let this sit for a minute. Now, I didn't put any butter in last time or anything, which a lot of recipes have, but I thought it tasted really good.
Yeah, it was great.
And it had a little bite, you know,
A little
like
tartness.
little
to it.
tartness. It was great. We don't like really sweet things. This is for the top, correct? And so you need to roll this out really good. You put some flour on your board. You always put flour on your board, otherwise it'll stick. You don't want that to happen. That's a real no-no. Not to met for 2 reasons. It's a pain in the butt, but you could get your board all screwed up too. So we just want this for the top, and we don't want it to be too big, because then I'll have to make one of my famous, whatever you call them, cookie things there in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
What do we call those?
I just call them your cookie.
Okay. All right, so just, you know, that's gonna fit fine, no
Yep.
problem. This is a little lower over here, so we're gonna stretch that out some, so that goes over. Okay, so before I put the pie filling, everybody does things differently, okay? A lot of people use an egg wash, make it nice and fancy, looks beautiful, and you put some of the wash there, you know, before you put the crust on, and it holds it all together. Guess what? Water works just as good. So all I do is just wet the edges, and the reason why I'm wetting the edges now is because then we're gonna throw the pie filling in. Get that out of there. Ooh, let's bring this down. We want it nice and full. Nice and full. All right, so we got water around the edges, and that's to seal the top. Now, this is our pie filling, and it's gonna be the perfect amount, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be nice and full. Very full. Doesn't that look just delish? I wonder why they don't make cherry-rhubarb pies.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a reason why, right? And we will find out.
It's an experiment.
It's an experiment. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But this is what I'm making. I wish I could bake, but I'm not a baker. Leo's a baker. He's fantastic. The reason why I don't bake is you're pretty much going to follow recipes. And I never do. It's my rebellious past. So then we put this, missing a piece, we need that, over the top. And we're gonna have to stretch it a little bit, it seems. Okay, that's all right. Then we take a knife. Don't do this at home, get a smaller knife. So we flip this up like this. You can do it any way you want. I put these two together, and I like crust. So.
And your crust is very good. It's like tastes like cookie.
It's buttery.
Yeah.
Everything's good with butter. What is there with butter that isn't good?
I don't know. I think it does. It's like bacon. It improves everything.
It's like butter.
Hey.
All right, so all I'm doing is like forking the crust. Fork the crust. Fork you, crust. And here's my fork.
There you go.
So I'm just like pinching this together, and it will stay, because why? Because we wet the bottom one, and when you put the top one on the bottom one,
It sticks.
it sticks. There you go. But we can't put this in the oven yet, you know why?
Because our stuffed peppers are
Our
in there.
stuffed peppers are still in there. And we will take a look at the stuffed peppers soon. All right, so then you take the fork. These are air holes. So when it starts bubbling and bibbling and everything that it does.
Has place for the steam to escape.
That's right. Learned over the years, always put your pie on a tray before you put it in the oven.
Because otherwise you'll clean your oven.
Now, if you have a pasta board or you have somebody like Stevie make you one, you always take this first. And this is little Sidgey's rolling pin. This is the thing I took out of my mother's house. This was the most important thing to me of hers. She made raviolis with this. She made pies with it. She made Italian cookies. She did everything with that rolling pin. I think she even hit us a couple times with it. I'm sure she hit us a couple times with it. Or at least threatened to. So, this is like, you know, what you do. You really want to avoid destroying your pasta thing. So this is hard maple, rock maple. You need to make it out of something that has very tight, what do you call it? I should know this.
Wood grain?
Grain, thank you. Losing my words. So it has to have a tight grain. So cherry or not oak. Oak is no good. The grain is like too porous. But you just take a damp cloth. You don't really want to wet it. You just want to clean it. So that is all you do. And then you put it back in its little corner.
Okay. Now we should put the pie in.
I would say 45 minutes is probably the least amount that you need to put them in for.
Okay. Here is the finished pie. And it's looking like it's holding together pretty well.